In today's video, we are going to launch a website. Are you ready? Of course you're ready. Let's go. So today is the day. We're going to go through my checklist of things that we need to do to launch the Akismet website's website. I'm really excited about this. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get into it. Of course, this is part 2 of the video series where I'm preparing the site and launching it. Last time I took the XD designs and implemented them in WordPress and Elementor. And this time I'm going to prep the site, go through my checklist and get it ready and launch this sucker. Of course, if you're new to the channel, you're probably wondering,
who are you?
Well, my name is Mark, and I've been a web designer for over 20 years, and I teach web design at the University of Hawaii, West Oahu. Akismet Websites is where I help new and aspiring web designers level up their professional and freelancing game with tips, techniques, and tutorials just like this one. And in this video, we're going to go through my checklist of things that I do before I launch a website. Of course, launching my own website versus a client website is a little bit different, but I'll get into that in a moment. What it really breaks down to is what I call the 8 S's. I have a lot of these. There's the 3 C's, the 4 D's. These are the 8 S's. And these are the things I think about or make sure that are implemented on a website before it goes live. So let's just get into each one. In a nutshell, the S's are security, stability, speed, social, storage, spam, statistics, and SEO. That's 8, yeah? 8. So security is making sure that things are in place to take care of malware or attacks on the website or login attempts, things like that. Stability is making sure the website is rock solid, making sure all your forms work, that all the functionality is there, and that everything is working and in place. It also deals with making sure there's no broken links on the website and setting up a broken link checker. Speed really involves 2 things. It involves making sure you have a caching system set in so that you're caching commonly used files to speed up the process, as well as an image optimizer like a Smushit or something like that. Social is making sure that all the social media integrations are in place for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, what have you, as well as setting up any newsletter, email marketing programs or integrations that need to happen. Storage relates to backups, making sure that your backup plugins are working or your backup systems are working and that everything is being backed up off-site and possibly in 2 or more locations. I also like to make sure I have set up an AWS folder, Amazon Web Services, an S3 folder, where I can store files that I don't want to have on the web server itself. Spam is, of course, making sure you don't get spam. Things like the Akismet plugin or anti-spam bee, but also just making sure that your registration is set up correctly or that commenting is set up correctly, things like that. Statistics are basically making sure Google Analytics is set up so that you can track things that you want to track, and also any other integrations for statistical reporting that you want to set up as well. And finally, SEO is just making sure that you have good keyword optimization, your meta tags are all in place, and all of that is set up correctly. It's also making sure that your images all have their alt text. So those are all the different things, the 8 S's that I like to set up on a website. Now, there are tools that I use where multiple things of those are set up at the same time. And one tool I really like to use is ManageWP. They're not sponsoring the video, but you know, if they want to, go ahead. But ManageWP is great because it takes care of a lot of those things all in one package for a really reasonable rate. And they even have some free options that work as well. So there's a few things I do in my checklist specifically before I launch the website. The first thing I do, especially with a WordPress site, is make sure all the right plugins that take care of those 8 S's are in place. The first plugin is the ManageWP plugin that ties in ManageWP with my website. And that takes care of the security, the stability, the storage, the statistics, some of the SEO stuff. A lot of that's taken care of there. So that's a real big headache off of my head. That made no sense. It's a big weight off of my shoulders. A couple other plugins I like to use is an image optimizer like Smushit. I also set up an SEO plugin. I make sure that Akismet is set up and configured. And if possible, I set up a caching plugin, but that's usually at the last step. My web host often has a caching option as well. So sometimes I don't need to do it on the WordPress side. I can do it from the server side. After I set up those plugins, that's when I do my integrations with newsletter, with social media, I set up Google Analytics, and I do my AWS S3 server situation. For example, if I have an ebook that I want to release or publish on the website or give away for free, then I'll put that in Amazon S3 and link to it from there. I also like to put a redirection plugin in there so that it tracks any redirects that I have, and I can also make short links for things like akamaiwebsites.com/011 would be the code to get to this video, episode 11 of the Akamai Websites website channel. And finally, I like to make sure that all the functionality is working. So I'll test all the forms to make sure they work the way they're supposed to and things like that. Of course, if I'm working with a client, I have to integrate some other things as well. These are things like making sure the website is ADA compliant, setting up all their user accounts, setting up some sort of white label system within the CMS. I usually use white label CMS for that. And I also use video user manuals, which is a plugin and a service I use that allows me to put an entire library of tutorial videos on the back end of the website for the client. It's really handy. I love that plugin a lot in that service. Totally worth $100 a year you have to spend for that. So I definitely recommend that. I'll put a link in the description below. And then finally, I just kind of click around and make sure everything's working okay. At this point, I'm pretty sure it is, but I like to just make one more pass just to totally confirm that it's all good. So I'll do one more backup before the end of it all, and then I will launch the website. So I want to show you all of those things that I'm going to do with the Akamai Websites website. So let's do a fun time lapse, because I love me a time lapse. And we're going to look and see how I did all that stuff. I'll put up little kind of text at each stage so you know exactly what I'm doing in the time lapse. And I won't speed it up quite so fast as I do some of my design ones so that you can really see what I'm doing. But it should be fun, so let's hop on the computer and take a look. All right, guys. That's it. The website is launched. Go to akamaiwebsites.com. Check it out for yourself. Let me know what you think. It is a beta website, so it's not the full website for the future. It's just 3 pages, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and hopefully you've enjoyed this whole process of getting ready and going through and getting this website done. I'm really looking forward to some of the other videos I'm going to be creating in the future, and I invite you to let me know if there's anything you would really like to know about or learn or get my perspective on. So leave a comment below and let me know what you think. And in fact, this brings us to the question of the week, which is, I want to know, when you launch a website, what do you like to do? Are there any things that you put in your checklist that I don't have in mind that you think I should have? Or are there things that maybe you didn't realize you should have for my checklist that you want to put in yours? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, for all my future videos, be sure and subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications, and don't forget to smash that like button. And I should mention, you can also follow me on social media at Akamai Websites. I'm not as active, as I've said before, on those channels, but I will be in the future, so get in early while the getting's good. I mean, it's not like you couldn't follow me later, but, you know, follow me now, so you're already there. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Next time, you know, maybe I don't want to spoil what's going to happen next week. It's going to be fun. I don't think I'll spoil it. I'm gonna let you find out next week what happens. So that is it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. Be good, be happy, and until next time, stay Akamai.